Okay.
Mr. Clerk?
Mayor Thundro,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stariel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No.
Councilman Galvin,
No.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess the vote was 3-2. I guess according to the city attorney, it fails because we need a super majority. Am I correct?
That is correct.
So item fails for lack of super majority.
Okay, that's the. May I, madam?
No, we're
So-
done. We're done with this item.
No, it's not about the item. It's about
Yeah, so our ordinance
The
is a little
ordinance.
quirky
yeah.
in that
So,
it unfortunately that's the way it's read. You know, we've talked about it internally to discuss whether zoning items should be by supermajority because it can create this dissonance
conflict.
and this conflict with respect to the land use changes versus the zoning map changes. I'm not sure why, you know, it was drafted that way many years ago. I don't know what the rationale was, but perhaps it's something that we need to look at internally and bring it back to you so that
Yeah,
it
next-
doesn't require a supermajority, so that we're not creating this now stalemate in terms of moving forward with these types of items.
I thought a
Can you-
supermajority was also required in the comprehensive plan.
No, just for
For
the zoning.
zoning.
Can you
Zoning.
bring that? Okay, may I? Can you bring that back before us for the next council meeting? Because I know that was something like that was gonna happen. That's what I asked. Why we don't do the rezoning first before? But right now, what we did, we made our comprehensive plan, and yet again, we cannot build what we wanted to build. So it does not
Ridiculous.
make any sense. It's
Contradictory.
in conflict with the
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, Mr.
So
Clerk.
bring it back before us, please.
Tab M as in Michael. Discussion regarding Councilman Galvin's open constituent inquiries list.
Madam Mayor, if I might.
Yeah, but Mr. Galvin,
an
why would
expla-
you want to bring this into the council meeting? This is something that has to do with staff.
Yeah. Here's my concern. I've got an open list of constituent inquiries, some of which date back almost a year. That list is numbering over 50, though staff is very quick to turn around some concerns. They're monstrously slow to turn around others, and there are some departments that are far more guilty, if you want to call it, than others.
Okay, so I think you should sit down with city manager and give him strict directions to give to staff, because this is we have asked for a turnaround of 24 hours when a request is made. So it has to be respected by anybody. Your job as an elected official is to ensure that you give strict directions to the city manager that should in turn apply it with its staff, and this type of thing does not happen. This is unacceptable, and I understand your frustration.
And that's the problem. I've had those conversations, and still here I am. I don't bring this to the table lightly. I've only had to do it once, otherwise in 15 years. I know that I've got a few residents who are here to speak on their items, if we might allow them a minute or two to speak on them. But if maybe the council joins me in saying to staff, and I'm not going to call out those departments that are the most guilty, but there's at least one department that has close to or more than a third of the open items on this list, to take some time and to answer most of them are really simple things, but staff is just not apparently taking them seriously, and so I'm looking to give that push
I hear you.
to administration.
So
to
I'm
answer
joining
their-
my voice to Councilman Galvin's concern, for you, city manager, to direct staff when a request is made by a resident, unless it's something that is impossible to do. We must comply, because the reason why we have staff, it's because we have residents. If there's no residents, there won't be any staff. They're here to work 8 hours a day, 8 hours of pay. Don't they get paid? And I think I'm echoing with you, Mr. Galvin, in telling you, Mr. Manager, and I'm hoping by next council meeting we can have a report in terms of that list, what the progress, what type of progress was made. All right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, are you willing to allow a minute to those that
They're
are here
gonna
tonight?
be they're gonna be concerned about exactly. You just spoke on their behalf. Do we need to hear them? Because I have all my CBOs here. They're waiting anxiously. I don't think it's fair to keep them waiting. And I understand people's frustration. Their staff will do so. Mr. Clerk.
May I, Ms.
O,
Madam Mayor?
No.
Discussion and update regarding Biscayne
In an
Landing.
hour.
Madam, please sit down or you're going to be removed. We solved the issue with councilmen and direct to city manager to do this. I'm asking you please to be seated.
So I don't
Thank
have a
you.
voice in this.
Mr. Clerk.
We'll come back to it.
Discussion and update regarding Biscayne Landing soil removal, tab O.
Do we have a presentation on this one?
Yes, we do, Madam Mayor and Council.
No, we're going to make some changes. We didn't. Clerk. Let me call a 5 minutes recess, please. Come here.
5 minutes recess, Mayor?
Yes. What happened?
We voted.
You see, that's the thing. Moving here, moving there, and it's all confusion. There's some. Where are the other two?
I need a haircut. Too much gray hair.
I'm kind of getting there.
Or the
Not
beat-
quite there
Or
yet,
the
but-
beating down, I think, might be.
Sorry, I'm almost done. I would offer you one of my granola bars.
There's goat in there.
Yeah, well.
It was delicious.
I know. A little bit too salty for me.
It wasn't salty. It was just, well, yeah, it was salty. Very spicy. Well, that was good.
So I didn't have dinner. I had a fever and a headache, and I was trying to make sure that I get here on time. I'm like, I'm not eating anything.
I stopped at Little Havana and got a pint of chicken soup.
Ricardo.
They have really good chicken
Ricardo.
soup.
Oh, we majority will continue. Please, we can go ahead and continue. The others will join us later. We were going to have a presentation. May we have the presentation, please?
Tab O.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Council, City Manager. My name is Brett Dill. I'm a partner and on the management committee of Olita Partners. I've been doing business around this city now for some, gosh, I guess probably close to 15 years. Mostly in the background, and maybe it's easy, having been in the background, to sort of see where we've made mistakes in the past, and I think a lot of that has to do with communication, and that's not anybody's fault in particular. It really, with a new partnership in our second time here in the city, we've gone through a year of growing pains. We better understand how we need to work with you all and be a good partner. Michael Tillman, who's with me, is a senior executive from the LaFrac organization who has relocated to South Florida to dedicate himself to this project. And he and I have been working with the city manager and with you all in the long run to just have a more unified front, along with our partners at Millennium, Gene and Manny Cherubin. And what we'd like to do over the next few years is really be in constant communication and have a unified story that's what we plan to do. And it hasn't been made public yet, but we've made tremendous strides and are so excited about what there is to come at what was formerly Biscayne Landing. I think that I sit and listen. I've been through these commission meetings or council meetings, and I hear the projects, many of which are exciting, and how the city is going to transform. But nothing will transform this city more than the tax revenue and jobs that can be created at Biscayne Landing. And Michael and I are going to dedicate ourselves to making that happen. We have bosses to answer to, but we're going to be on the ground every day to meet with you all as often as possible and keep everybody informed and keep the momentum of this project that we all need. And so with that, I'd like to introduce to you Michael Tillman, and he's going to talk about some of the things that have evolved in the issue that we have tonight. But we're very excited to be moving this project forward. Thanks.
Good evening, council members, mayor, city manager. My name is Michael Tillman. I'm a vice president of Olita Partners, a developer for Biscayne Landing, and a director of development for LEFRAC. As Brett said, we're very excited about what we're on the cusp of. We have worked very hard over the past several months to really reinvigorate what we were planning for Biscayne Landing. This call comes from the comments we received from the council, comments we've heard from residents, and the work and effort of our designers and engineers. We're on the cusp of really pushing North Miami into something totally unbelievable.
Aren't you here to discuss the
Yes.
removing of the landing?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Can we get straight to the point, please?
In order for us to continue moving forward and move this project along and start creating the jobs and the revenues that we all keep talking about, we've identified that there's other ways to use the material from the Brickell City Center site that are in line with methodologies used throughout the state of Florida, throughout the county of Miami-Dade, and in accordance with the administrative authorities that oversee these environmental items. And this would be to utilize the fill underneath impervious surfaces. That includes roads and building foundations. Based on the size of the project, we're confident that we can utilize the material underneath these impervious surfaces, eliminate any fear that there's a safety risk, and do this in a manner that is both the norm with common practices throughout the state and the county, and in accordance with DERM. So we would request that the city agree, along with DERM, that the material can be reused for that purpose.
Okay. Thank you. Public hearing is now open.
Thank you, Frank. Hello?
Turn on your mic.
Frank Rowland, 12865 West Dixie Highway. A little bit earlier in our meeting, you heard from the Oaks, and they said, listen, we want to change our name. There's a stigma associated with the name the Oaks. Now we want it to be 151 in Biscayne, give it another name. We have a landfill, and no matter how you want to cut it, there's a stigma that's associated with that. And you've got 6 million cubic yards of municipal waste in our backyards. And we've been dealing with it for 20 or 30 years, and it hasn't been easy, and it hasn't been a good thing. And Mr. Swerdlow promised, I sat here in the room, you sat here, you heard him. He said he's only going to use clean fill, and he went out and he got something else. And now they want you to say it's okay because they can cover it up. Or if you read the materials, because they can dilute it. They can mix it with clean fill so it won't be dirty anymore. And that in other places, they cover it up so it's okay. But it's not okay. There's the aluminum and there's the silica. And the silica, in tiny little particles, it becomes airborne. It's a toxic substance. It causes silicosis. It causes cancer. It's sitting there behind the houses in North Miami Beach, behind Costco and Target. There's a management plan that's in place now. And they're supposed to spray it down every day so it doesn't become airborne. They don't do that. They have a truck with a water cannon that sits there and doesn't move. Doesn't move. There's a plan and they're supposed to do it for public safety, but they don't do it. So how can you trust them to do something else? And in 200 years or 198 or 197 years or whatever, the property is ours again. And the soil with the silica, and it's all still going to be there. Because whether they cover up today, they'll uncover tomorrow or in another generation or in 2 or 3 generations. So I'm happy that they're building this and they're making it better and better. And I want them to build it, and I want us to have the jobs and the tax money. But it doesn't have to be at the cost of the public's safety, and we don't have to worry about it in the future. And you should stick to your guns and have them take it away. And then full speed ahead, build it.
I'd like a moment to respond to those comments and accusations. No one here was asking about the blending. We're talking about utilizing the fill under an impervious surface. It's covered under the roads, just like it is throughout the entire state of Florida and Miami-Dade. Very, very similar material. And just to counter also, the comment about the fill, we follow the plans. Everything is done in accordance to what we're supposed to be doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Or you wish to speak, sir? I'm sorry.
I would, Madam Mayor. Andrew Hellinger, the receiver of the Oaks Condominium Association. And council members, I want to tell you that we have found that under the reset button, let's call it, of the Olita partners, we've come a long way in dealing with Olita and, you know, some of the promises that were made to the Oaks, and we found them to be forthcoming. We had hoped by today to announce an agreement, but I will tell you that we have met with them either in person or on phone almost weekly, and we are within striking distance of a final agreement. So how does that relate to the soil issue? We were concerned about the soil, and we hired our own experts, just like the city hired its experts to look at the soil issue. And the intention of Olita to use the soil for the road work, our experts came back and reported to us that that would, under the Durham regulations, be an acceptable standard for them. And I think that is not unlike the report that the city obtained from its experts that we heard a month or so ago. But I want to let you know that we did look at the issue. Our unit owners and residents cared enough about it when they heard about the silica and dust flying around and things that need to be done. And I've been out there personally and seen the water trucks at work. But we did have our own experts check it out, and they did report back to us, consistent with the city's experts, that fill could be used on site at your willingness for the type of work that they're now proposing. Thank you.
Thank you.
William Previtel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. Good evening. The five of you do not have an easy decision in terms of what to do with this landfill, and I was not going to necessarily take a position on it because it's difficult enough as it is. But I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge that this really should be a turning point in the progress of this project, that we really do need to be on the same page, and there do need to be benefits, clear benefits to the city and assurances to the city going forward, that it's not just where every week we meet and there's a new challenge or there's a new unknown and it's reinventing the wheel each step of the way. We need to have a very clear and convincing, comprehensive plan so that all of us have the peace of mind on a day-to-day basis, whether it's the Planning Commission, the council, or the people of the city, that they know what we're getting into and what we can look forward to. Biscayne Landing should not be a problem or continuing problem after problem. It's an enormous opportunity to do something really wonderful if it's done well. It is a great, great opportunity. And I beg that the developers see it as that and see that it can provide both gain to them as developers and as an income stream, and to the city, that we can have public spaces, something we can be proud of, something that could host possibly even major events for our community, and that we would be welcome and we'd be invited to go there, as opposed to something that we would try to avoid. So I thank you in your consideration in going forward and getting all sides together for an optimal future. Thank you.
Thank you. Public hearing is now closed. You wanted to speak?
Enoch Millian, 12620 Northeast 4th Avenue. Mayor Tondo, council members. I heard a few things about Biscayne Landing. We spend a lot of time talking about Biscayne Landing, but we spend lots of money about Biscayne Landing also. So my advice for you guys, I think Biscayne Landing, that's a very good opportunity for people who live in North Miami. We need Biscayne Landing. We need to build that. We need the support of that, first of all, because we have thousands of people here who live in North Miami are waiting for jobs. So therefore, let's don't play politics. Let's support the Biscayne Landing and build it. Thank you.
Public hearing is still open. Public hearing now is closed. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clerk?
The reuse.
What did you do, Miss? Can you? I can't hear you. Mr. Councilman Bien-Aimé.
The motion is to let the developers use the field for the spine road and as requested. That's
okay.
The motion I want to move.
Okay, I will second it for purpose of discussion. Councilman
Under impervious surfaces.
Sir.
I would rather not make that decision this evening. I'm still looking for some reports. I know you've given us the report of your engineer. As I've said before, I really don't want a report from someone that you've paid to do the report. That being said, we've been talking about using this soil, been talking with the manager for about 6 weeks on the Spine Road. And one thing we discussed was whether you were willing to also put a liner under the soil. I know the letter from Durham said something about a 2-foot impervious material on top of it. But we have discussed a liner for the last 6 weeks. I have not seen anything with regard to a liner to hold this dirt in. And the other concern I'm having, and I would like to hear from Mr. Celestine, also thank you for getting up. My other question is, we're talking about lead, so if the lead, not lead, aluminum, so the liner would probably help the aluminum from leaching, but other people have brought in the issue, Mr. Wallen and others have brought in the issue of silica, which I don't think we've addressed. And where Mr. Wallen said, well, they can dig it back up, I don't think they're going to be digging the road back up specifically, but we really haven't talked about silica. And even though we've also been given a report where other communities use this fill, I would like something a little bit more definitive from our experts saying it's okay to use on the road and that we would use a liner.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Galvin.
Thank you. Biscayne Landing, until you change the name, Biscayne Landing. It's in everybody's best interest that you get this soil off the site immediately. I understand that you might have other ways of handling it, but that does not diminish the harmful nature of the name of the project that's been hurt by bringing this soil on site. You should have come to us before the soil was brought there and asked if we could do it in this manner at that time. The horse is already out the barn door. I think you should get that soil off-site immediately, and I'm a little hurt because we told you to do that a month ago, and rather than get chopping you just looked for another way to, to skin the cat. And I don't think it shows that you took our direction seriously. So I'm going to stand by my first votes of a month, or 6 weeks ago, and say, please get the soil off-site immediately. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Steele?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am very saddened to see this. The item that was advertised is kind of, to me, misleading. If I knew we were going to discussing about use the soil another way, I probably have more questions for the city attorney, because I know we are in a process of appealing or litigation, or what's the legal term? Am I probably saying the wrong legal term? I would have to ask her many, many other questions off the record. But unfortunately, we're not discussing about the Biscayne Landing soil removal, but we're discussing another item, how to better use it. So I really, tonight, don't want to vote against it, except if the maker of the motion wants to move forward with it. I don't mind vote against it. But I would rather continue this item until all my questions has been answered. So you guys have two ways.
Thank you.
Can I remove?
Bien-Aimé?
Can I remove it for next council meeting?
You want
she
to?
requests-
You're removing your motion
requested
and you
by-
are requesting to table it for next council meeting?
Yes.
I'll second you again. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Okay, just to be clear, we're voting on tabling tab O to the next council meeting. Motion made by Councilman Bien-Aimé, seconded by Mayor Thundro. Councilwoman Steele.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
No.
Mayor Thundro.
Yes.
Councilman Bien-Aimé.
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Item passes 4-1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I may, on November the 12th, the council had indicated for us to remove the soil. Staff has moved in that direction. By your vote tonight to postpone this for further discussion on January the 14th, I just want the council to be aware that you are basically directing me to, as we will continue in our process, to make sure that the city is in a position that we're not adversely impacted, but you're basically allowing the soil to stay there until January the 14th. I just want you to be
We
aware.
did not make that decision, Mr. City Manager. The decision is to continue this item.
I understand, but by continuing the item, then there is no action.
But there is no action on the last item that we voted on either. So there was no action.
No, what he's trying to explain is that while we are waiting until next council meeting to bring this item back on the agenda, the soil is still where it is right now, and it's not being either removed or
I just want the council to, just so that we don't come back January the 14th and you say, I don't want you to feel that staff hasn't done anything to ensure your November 12th decision. I just want you to understand that what you're indicating for me to do is to allow this item to come back. I just don't want you to feel that staff did not take your action on November the 12th. That's all.
I don't think we undid our vote to say the soil
I don't
was
think
to
you
be
did
removed.
either.
No, we
However,
didn't.
you're not undoing it. However, there will be a delay in me moving forward to carry out that action.
There is no delay, Mr. City Manager.
Okay.
What we just did tonight, we were supposed to discuss on an item that the applicant wanted us to discuss. We decided not to discuss it tonight, to discuss it another council meeting. Whatever that the vote that took place the last council meeting, it took place. We did not undo anything. So on the meanwhile, we will continue talking to, I know I have questions for the city attorney, probably other council members might have questions for you, or however that we want to proceed, that's up to us up here. But what legal or you or the developer needs to do, you just continue doing what you do.
Mr. Bien-Aimé, you wanted to add something?
I was gonna, do they have a delay on removing the soil?
There was no delay given
No
when we
delay.
voted last time.
Okay.
We're discussing something.
There was no cap
Did we
delay.
discuss?
Okay. All right. Mr. Clerk,
Next.
you know, before we got to the next item on the agenda, which is council report, you know, when I walk here, I had a fever and a headache, and as you see, my voice was totally. Now it's getting better. Thanks, Charlie.
Oh,
Yes, he did.
Thanks to who?
Charlie.
Charlie, he brought me the croissant from the house.
Man, you could have finished a long time ago if your voice was the same.
If it was that clear, that's true. And I have worked very hard in visiting the CBOs, and it was almost a sprint for me to go and see the work that the CBOs that we have allocated money to have done. And it is unfortunate that I didn't even realize. And city manager, I had spoken to you about wanting to make some changes, and you didn't say anything. And I think I should hold you guilty for that, you and the city attorney, by not bringing it to my attention.
They were praying for you not to see it.
That's right, because you guys wanted to move very fast with the agenda, and it is sad that we all voted for it when there are agencies that were not recommended by staff for money that I believe deserve to get some money. Today I was able to go to the switchboard of Miami. I was able to visit them, and the program that they have is to make a call to senior citizens. And I think most of our senior citizens, a big part of it, I cannot say most of them, you know, they're looking forward just to receive a phone call from somebody who cares. And so from what I was told, they were, you know, they can hold them on the phone for more than an hour and talk about, you know, little thing or nothing. And these are things that I believe staff overlook, because I'm not sure what they're saying, that there's no proof that these people are from North Miami. I disagree with staff on that. It's called Senior Citizen Never Alone. This is a program I believe that we should fund in order to ensure that our citizens get one phone call. And each time I look at this program, I'm thinking of one of our residents that is living on her own right now that would like to have somebody to talk to from time to time. Mrs. Georgina Blanco?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
She's got us to call.
Yeah, but, you know, give her, you know, some, because she's alone and now she's afraid. There's nobody, she has no children, she has no husband. And a program like that, I think I can see Miss Lopez in it, because they have people who speak Spanish, who speaks French, who speak Creole, who speaks English in it. And I believe this is something that we need to support. And I went to Food for Life today as well. What I had in mind when I read this was that, you know, they would give a hot meal to the people infected with HIV/AIDS. And when I got there, it was a totally different setup. It's market, you know. They give them fish, they give them meat, they give them...
Are they on the list?
Yeah, they're on the list. It's Food for Life Network, first page.
So do you want to move money from one to the other, or?
I would
part?
love to if you guys would allow me to do so. Because to me, I don't think it's okay for Switchboard of North Miami not to get any money, not being recommended by staff, and I think it's not right.
Madam Mayor, you can do
And-
exactly what you did with the CRA during the CRA board meeting, bring it back.
Okay.
And then we can reopen it again, then you'll make the changes
Can
that
we?
you like.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can ask the city attorney how do you go about doing that.
Okay. And I went to JCS. Whoa. Folks, you would not imagine what they do with people that are disabled in terms of training them and putting them at work. It's worth going and see, because sometimes when you hear something and then when you see what they do, it's totally different. And some of these organizations deserve to be and Family Impression Foundations. I went there, I saw the youth, I saw the parents, and my goodness, Good job. I am so proud of all of our CBOs whom have applied. And I went to the library as well. They have that literacy program for elders. I saw their work, and I think they're doing a wonderful job.
Except
Russo Life Skill and Reading.
you only have 108.
I know.
So if you suggest cuts
So I
here
don't
or
know.
there and
I-
let's bring it back.
we only have-
Can I bring it back?
Yeah.
Mr. Clerk, Madam Attorney,
I
can I bring it
need
back?
a motion and a second and
Okay,
majority vote.
I move to bring back the
I second.
I will second it as well, except that if the, Madam Mayor, if you realize that we only have $108,000.
yeah, and I'm suggesting as well next year if we can match that money and give more, because these people are doing wonderful work, and it's unfortunate CBO we get the CDBG fund cut 50%. And we need to find a way, either we throw a big fundraising in the city, or we identify money in the next budget, whatever we're getting in CDBGs, to match the funds, because they're working way too hard, and their work is too valuable to just go ahead and give them 5,000 here and 6,000 there. Anyone, we need to vote?
Real quick, because I got a motion in a second.
Okay, roll call, sir.
You cannot vote, or if you cannot vote, she needs to reallocate the.
Wishes to record or no?
To
No,
reconsider the allocation of
She
the
can-
CBOs.
No, Madam Mayor, Mr. Clerk, what the mayor is trying to do is to reallocate the fund. You cannot vote without reallocating.
I understand.
What do we voted on?
City attorney just indicated to bring it back. You just need a motion.
Oh.
It was motion. It was second.
To bring it back.
And then we
Yes,
can
to
redo it.
reconsider, correct.
So anyone wishes to record or no? Item passes 5-0.
Okay.
No, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Now I have to do another motion?
Yes.
What motion without reallocation?
To the allocation motion. A motion to
Should she?
reallocate monies from one to another and so forth.
Yeah, but should she reallocate and then make the motion, or make the motion
That's
before
part of the
reallocation?
motion.
Make some suggestions and let's.
That's
like,
part
move
of the motion. So
1,000 from
I
this group,
move,
1,000
I
from this
move to
group.
move, 1,000 from regime to regime, something like that.
Why it has to be from you to you? Why could it be from you to me?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Can we do that so I can recalculate it properly? Can we bring it back?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
brought
okay?
back. You've
Because I
already
don't want to do a
meeting.
wish thing.
You've already
No,
brought
you're
it
talking
back.
No. What she said
No,
to
the reallocation, the
to
continuing.
move it to the next
Next
council
month.
meeting.
Because it's gonna take some time. so
Madam
we
Mayor,
have to-
we would not be able to do that because of the regulations with HUD that we have to
okay,
get this.
okay. No, I don't need a recess.
Yes, if
My
you
voice
want
is
to.
good. Oh, just for me to go and calculate it?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go into recess so I can do
Just
proper
remember, you only
calculation.
have $108,000, but then we give it to you to reallocate.
Like, my thought is to take 1,000 from 7 or 8 different groups and then put it toward the phone call group, and then that covers most of what they wanted.
Call them recess.
As an
Have
idea.
we vetted this, with the...
You voted
switch-
or Cal?
Let's go, no,
Call the
we're
recess
going on
No,
recess.
the switchboard, we gave nothing, so I
Right.
voted nothing. And my question is, so we can discuss it, have we vetted this organization? Are these people qualified?
Let her come back with
Okay,
her
when she's gonna come back, I'm just asking
and
about
then
this
we'll discuss it.
organization, and if they do make the phone calls, and these people have issues, does this organization know how to deal with these people's issues?
Switchboard of Miami is huge.
It's huge. I visited it, I went into a basement, and I saw their location, I saw their installation. It's no joke.
Yeah,
Okay.
And they even expand what they're doing, not only calling senior citizens, but also people who are suicidal, people with HIV, AIDS. I mean, it's like, I was impressed.
How many minutes do you need? 10?
10.
10 minutes?
Yes.
10 minutes recess for the mayor. Granted. Let's take 30 minutes. City attorney, city manager,
City attorney, city manager, Mr.
clerk.
Clerk, Mr. Bien-Aimé. We want to be out of here before 10 o'clock. And this is our last meeting for the year. I'm just gonna see if we can do that.
All right, hurry up, because I have to.
You have no report, so it's gonna be short.
I have two things on my report.
Oh, 2 things on your report.
Then I have to say Happy Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah is that?
We're gonna be out of here by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So everybody's report, make it short. Can we please have city attorney and city clerk and Mr. Bien-Aimé and deputy city attorney? Listen, I'm sick, okay? Thank you. We were able to crunch some numbers. Yes, I had to sit down with the city manager and Madame Sejour Wilson in order for us to do that. What I did, I need to explain. What you want to explain it, or can I
Sure,
explain?
Mayor.
Go ahead.
If you like. I'm going to ask Ms. Tanya Sejour to come up so she can read the numbers. Basically, you want to give me the list?
We need to explain why we did that. It's not going to affect anybody.
In the action plan of at the direction of the council, whenever the funds come in for CDBG, there's 2 programs that the action plan requires. That's $15,000 off the top to the North Miami Senior Citizens Foundation and $30,000 off the top to the North Miami Parks and Recreation for our youth summer jobs. So what the mayor requested to do in the plan, and on top of the 15 that the action plan required to North Miami Senior Foundation, the mayor is electing to take the $8,000 from that and distribute it in this manner: $4,000 to the Switchboard of Miami, an additional $1,000 to the JCS services, to Family Impression Foundation, an additional $1,000, and to Prosperity Social and Community Development Group, $1,000, and Food for Life, $1,000.
Could you repeat that?
Sure. The $8,000 to be removed from the Senior Citizen Foundation, and the money would be
Because they got
distributed-
$130,000 and they had an extra $15,000 on the top.
But they're so desperate.
I understand, but we need to do fundraising. I understand.
The North Miami Senior Foundation received $115 from the general fund, and from these funds, they received $15,000 off the top.
So how much you giving them from that fund?
$15,000. It was a total of the 15, and then they applied as an applicant, and they were awarded an additional $8,000.
So instead of
9,000.
giving- So
$8,000.
It's
so-
8?
Eight.
Okay.
Eight.
okay.
And last year they
That's
got
been
9,000.
24,000 total.
That would be
23.
23,000.
Yeah, okay,
So they would
23
still
total,
get
okay.
the 15.
Mhm.
The mayor's recommending that the 8
take
be
the eight.
Yeah,
removed
that's fair.
and be distributed as we had
That's
just
fair.
indicated.
Is it a motion? I seconded if it's a motion.
Don't you think that's fair, Carol?
I think they really need the money. They
Giving them almost 200.
you know, we're giving them, but it's, you know, it's like we're giving them, they're feeding our seniors, they're giving hot meals. I watched them. I was in an elderly man's,
You're on that board,
I am on the board.
so you're not supposed to be voting on this.
Are
You
you
need
on
to
the
remove
senior
yourself.
citizens
I am.
board?
But unless she's drawing a salary
She's-
or
You're not, you're,
I don't
You
make
don't
any
work
money.
for them
no,
or
I
anything like
volunteer
that?
and I work, but I've watched him, and I was at a senior's home on Thanksgiving, and I watched him receiving a hot meal on Thanksgiving.
You know what?
I'm placing
Carol,
him. I've got services.
I'm not,
very
I'm not, you know,
organization.
I'm not doubting it because I've seen them and I know it. But in the meantime,
I would
we
agree to
have
4,000, but
we have seniors that has nothing. We have people with HIV
so let
that we are
them. So let them go to
feeding.
the seniors, the
You
senior
know,
foundation.
We have
Can we
people
agree-
with HIV/AIDS that has no meal. They give them $15 food stamps a month. If it was not for Food for Life, many of them would have gone hungry. And this is the reason why I took the time to go and visit these places, to ensure that I understand what they're doing and the necessity for us to go ahead
And
and provide them the money.
have we checked the financials and how much goes to administration? Because I know that the foundation, I'm familiar with their books and records, and I know that there is no fluff there, and I know that the employees have been taking pay cut after pay cut, and they've added furlough days. On these other organizations, I haven't seen, what they're...
What we're giving them, it's peanuts compared to
but
what
where
they're
is it
putting
going?
out.
Is it going for meals?
For meals for our North Miami resident HIV/AIDS patients. That's where it's going.
Can we take 4,000 from the seniors and 4,000 from some other groups, like PAL?
I have a question.
Take 4,000?
Is it the same organization that was represented by the late former councilman?
No,
Litman?
no, that's
Litman.
that's the Stop Hunger group, but
Oh,
they're not
but
they're not involved in this at all.
This is the
They did-
what
Food for Life. No, I know who Food for Life is. I thought that he was representing
Okay,
them
no,
as
no.
well. Yeah,
You know
I
what they
who-
do when other patients they go there
I know
to pick
what
up their
they do.
meal.
I know what they do.
They have home delivery. They go to for the city of North Miami. They drive there. They are all the way down on 26th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. They deliver their meal to them, and it's like going to the market. You know, they have everything, and they have a nutritionist that give them every week
You're so
what to bring.
passionate.
I am.
We
It's,
do.
I
We do
was
that
so.
every year.
I don't know. I mean, the fact that I was able to see it,
Yeah.
and it's
Actually, they
it's
used to. I
different.
don't know if Scott remember. They used to request two. Used to have two different accounts
Yeah.
before us every year to come and ask us for two different accounts. So we usually awarded them with one account.
And
that's out.
today I just volunteer
Yeah.
with them when they go and do those distribution in North Miami for them to go with them.
So
So
you going with them?
yes.
Go girls.
You make the motion
Can
and
we
I
ask
second
for
it.
clarification? I'm lost now as to where we're taking the money.
Let me make
Sure.
the
I know
motion.
where we're putting it, but where is it coming from?
From the seniors.
From the North Miami Senior Foundation.
How much?
There was $15,000 from this money that was automatically taken off of the top. An additional 30 for the youth employment summer jobs. In addition to that, staff accepted their application and they were awarded an additional 8. The mayor's motion is to take away the
You have
8.
to say first in the budget I had recommended for us to give them $100,000 during the
Correct.
budget.
Correct, and that
Hearing.
did not-
115.
No, that was 15,000 on top. $115,000. We added $15,000 on the budget, and now they're getting $130,000
So you're-
more.
I think I understand this. You're taking the 8,000 that they're getting here on this
That's
sheet
right.
tonight, and you're redirecting it toward the
That's correct.
Switchboard of Miami
It's
program.
Instead of
4,000.
having 138,000, they're keeping 130. The two
Right.
15,000 plus the $100,000 that was allocated to them in the budget.
I would just personally prefer, rather than make the seniors here take that whole hit, that we spread it out 1,000 over 8 different organizations. But I understand where you're.
I would like to spread it out over a couple other organizations to bear the burden, because I know there's a need, and I know the seniors need hot meals.
Mayor?
They've lost hot meals.
I'm sorry, before you guys, we have a motion and a second on the
Second.
floor. A
But
motion
we're
was
discussing
made.
it.
That's what I'm saying. So before you guys make any changes, we already have a motion and a second to approve these amendments. How do you guys want to proceed?
What is the motion?
The motion is to approve the amendments that was read by, it was a motion to approve with amendments. The motion was made by Mayor Thunder and it was seconded by Councilman Bieneme.
Okay.
So do you want to vote or you want to keep discussing?
No, she's bringing up ideas. Let me listen to you.
I would
It doesn't
just
hurt
like-
to discuss.
I agree with Councilman Galvin, if we could take a couple thousand from one and 1,000 from another, and just give them some more money, because I know how needy these elderlies are to get these hot meals.
Like maybe take 2,000 from the seniors and then 1,000 from any 5 other groups, 6 other groups. How about 2,000 from the seniors, 1,000 from PAL, 1,000 for Prosperity Social and
We're not
Community.
touching PAL.
Okay,
we
Because we
PAL out.
already cut,
Okay.
already cut the money from PAL.
$50,000.
I'm just, I'm
You
just
know,
trying to
it's-
get something, I'm just throwing something out there for discussion. How about then 2,000 from the seniors, 1,000 from ERCC, 1,000 from Family Impressions, 1,000 from JCS, 1,000 from Prosperity Social, and yeah, everybody
No.
else is so good.
I disagree
Mayor,
because
Mayor.
these people are not part of our budget, and this is the only time that they have applied to get something. I don't think we should remove this. And when, as of those two, although PAL, we had cut their money, their funding in the budget, in the 2013-2014 budget.
And we gave them $1
Um,
million.
That was then. That was from the
Still getting it.
that was then. Anyway, let's do a roll call because I think it's and I'm hungry and I'm
Just to be clear, we're voting on the mayor's motion to approve with amendment as read by city manager earlier on the record. It was seconded by Councilman Bien-Aimé. Roll call vote, Mayor Dundro,
yes, of course.
Councilman Bien-Aimé,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
No.
Councilwoman Sterriel.
Yes.
Item passes 3-2.
Where are we? Council report. Councilwoman Keys.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm not Councilwoman
We're not
Keys.
there
Yeah,
yet.
that's true.
We're not there yet.
Okay, I'll make it quick. I believe it's going to be January 15th. We haven't firmed up the date. I will be hosting a code compliance workshop for the residents to come out and provide their input on what they would like to see in our code compliance. Our city attorney has been working very hard. We're working on Article 5 with minimum housing. A lot of people have complained. They're interested in what's going on in our city. So I'm going to invite everybody to come out probably January 15th for a code compliance workshop. In addition, for those of you who have any interest or have any problems with the reoccupancy certificate program, we're going to hold a separate workshop on that issue. And I'd like to wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Galvin.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody. I just want to say that there are still a couple of days to grab an angel. If you're leaving the building tonight, grab an angel off the angel tree downstairs and bring back by Thursday into business an unwrapped gift for a child of this gender and age of whatever angel you take off the tree. It's a great way to make sure that kids in our community don't go forgotten over the holidays. And we thank St. Stephen's Episcopal Church for helping distribute the gifts. Their angel tree is in the lobby today. Merry Christmas.
Is it go
Thank
to
you.
a specific organization, the Kids with AIDS or
Yeah,
something?
they're distributing to kids who either have HIV
Or parents.
families with HIV.
HIV.
So that's an HIV ministry.
Okay. Councilwoman Sterriel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to echo Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm sure that we're not going to have any meetings before the New Year's. And I can't wait to disappear in the face of the City Hall and go somewhere with my family and enjoy life. And I will be praying for you guys. Two other things that I like to ask the city attorney. I know the last time that we voted very emotionally regarding the toy drive. I know that staff is very animated about it, and I heard a lot of comments from councils, not talking to me, but I heard that they were not sure what happened, and myself, I'm not sure what direction should I go, because staff is still continue working on the toy drive that we have been having for the past 8 years. This is our ninth, what is it? Ninth, what is it? The ninth annual, holiday celebration that we have been having on the west side, usually after the Christmas lighting that we have in the city. If I'm not mistaken, I think that we voted against it the last time. Staff has been continue working, but I want to be right to make sure that if that's what take place, if that's what council wants. So how do I approach that?
So I believe from the last meeting, what the motion and the vote was for a toy drive in Haiti using city funds. I believe that was voted down. I do not believe that there's really even a need for a vote for a local toy drive. I mean, you guys do local toy drive. You do workshops and activities and turkey drives and throughout the city, and that doesn't require a council vote. I believe that there was a distinction. So unless that's
No, that was
my-
that.
That was-
This
that's
is
what
what
it
it was. Yes.
Okay, so staff, please, you guys can proceed now. We can actually continue working with the program with Tabernacle of Glory, which is Pastor Greg that has been working with us with the entire program. So, have been said, I invite all the council, mayor, please come. Usually we have a lot of fun. Santa come, and if you've been good, so you will get your wish and your prayer will be answered. My other questions for you, Madam City Attorney. Yes, I know that we did vote on the toy drive that we should do with the Sister City Delma. I know one of the questions was one of the concern if staff is involved. I do have local vendors and the schools continue picking up toys to take to Haiti. I'm asking this body, or I'm asking you, if I use, which we already have according to staff, vendors that actually give money towards that toy drive to buy the toys, and I use my travel money to take the toys to Delma. So how do I go about doing that?
So if that's through your Sister City International program, that's already a budgeted item, and there's no city monies expended, then I don't believe that that's quite different than asking for city money.
Thank you. That's conclude my report, Madam Mayor. And
Thank you, Councilman.
Merry Christmas,
Bien-Aimé.
everybody, again. So please party and pray hard and enjoy and love.
Councilman Bien-Aimé.
All I have to say it's Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Okay, I have to do mine, I guess. I have to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. But also we need to thank staff for a wonderful job done for the parade and then for the lighting of the trees. And I would like also to thank the Jewish community for giving me the opportunity of lighting the unity candle on Hanukkah to commemorate or to open the Hanukkah. And I think they have got my messages in terms of this is what we're looking for in the city, not for division. And I would like to wish you all a happy holidays. And I got my report card from Biscayne Times. I would like to thank them. The article was not 100% perfect, but it shows and give opinion and directions. And I would like to say thank you. I will, for the New Year's resolution, try to improve and do my best on the dais. Thank you, Biscayne Time, for professionally article written. We have been to Fort Myers to see the development in Fort Myers, and we went to West Palm Beach, and I'm heading to Sarasota, since Fort Myers copies from Sarasota, to see how much of their downtown that Fort Myers have copied. And then I will be going to Delray Beach as well. We're just trying to see what will be best for our city in terms of the downtown. And if I don't get sick, I'm going to be home for a couple of days. If not, although the city is in recess, I will be at my office available for the constituents. I keep having an open door policy, and I will continue to attend all activities where myself as a mayor is invited. For that, once again, happy holidays all of you, and I have some good rum from Haiti for those who wants to drink. You're welcome to celebrate with us, since they're going to extend the time and for us to drink in the city. And thank you, Mr. Privatel, for the invitation. I will be with you at your home celebrating with your family, and there will be a memorial service that Mr. Bien-Aimé did not mention for Mr. Mandela, for former President Mandela. You didn't say anything about it on Thursday. And I'm inviting all of you that are at home to attend, and all of you that are here as well to attend that memorial service. We were thinking of going to South Africa, but we couldn't find a driver. So we couldn't trust you anyway. Happy holidays once again, and let's hope that we keep positive image and positive thinking and positive attitude toward the upcoming New Year's. Mr. Clerk.
Real brief. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday at home, and of course here, the constituency and the individuals who are here observing the meeting. There's two departments I want to acknowledge publicly for the job well done they've been doing in collaboration with the clerk's office. Of course, Stephen Johnson is always a remarkable asset. But individually, I want to thank the finance department. For those who didn't know, when we were kind of clearing out the office about a month ago, we had roughly about 40, 50 checks that were just kind of laying around that were not processed. Fortunately, the finance department got on top of that, and the staff in my office, led by Louis, they processed all the checks. They made all the necessary adjustments. And I want to thank the finance department for bringing so much revenue into the city and for helping us clean our mess. In addition to that, I want to thank the IT department for doing such a remarkable job working with our department to make sure that everything's online. For those who don't notice, we always have our up-to-date ordinances up there. We always have our resolutions up there. This was a very great year for the city of North Miami, and we couldn't do it by ourselves. I want to thank Mr. Johnson. Of course, I want to thank the mayor and council for always supporting me, and the finance department and the IT department. Thank you very much. It's all a teamwork, like the manager always says, but I want to, of course, acknowledge them publicly. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney.
Yes, just briefly, just want to advise you that pursuant to the Environmental Quality Control Board order, we filed an appeal of that order in furtherance of your mandate to have that soil removed. So I just wanted to let you know that a petition for writ was filed. Essentially, that is requesting to rescind the weight of that order, and they have filed a response. So I don't know what direction that you all want to go into in terms of whether the soil will be used or not, but certainly whatever decision that the council makes, and we can certainly have an executive session should that be necessary to, if we decide to resolve it, then certainly the appeal will be part of whatever the ultimate resolution will be in terms of a settlement agreement.
Thank you.
As well. So we will advise.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
I want to just say happy holidays and happy new year to all mayor and council and city staff and residents. I will be taking off the week of Christmas, and Dr. Claude will be taking off the week of New Year's. And we also like to say goodbye to Ruby Crenshaw Johnson. This is her last council meeting. She is our purchasing manager. She has accepted a job offer in the Broward County School Board, so we want to wish her well.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Anybody? Clap your hands.
For what?
If you agree to adjourn.
I'm not agree to adjourn. It's too early. It's not
Goodbye,
even-
everybody, and happy holidays once again.